I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video, we'll summarize our learnings about reciprocal functions. They will also help you to understand general rational functions. Question here is, complete the following chart for f of x equals to 1 over minus x squared plus 4x. We need to find domain, range, vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, x-intercept, y-intercept, positive interval, negative interval, increasing interval, and decreasing interval for this function. Correct? So, to begin with, what can we do? Well, we can kind of roughly sketch it. And to sketch, it is important to factor the denominators. So I'll write this function as 1 over. I'll factor out minus x. So we are left with x minus 4. Is it okay? So that is how the function is. Negative I could have written on the top also. Let me write this as minus 1 over x times x minus 4. Okay. So that is how we could write our function. So basically it is reciprocal of this quadratic function. Do you see that? This quadratic function. So I'll make a rough sketch of this function here, and then we'll describe the characteristics of the reciprocal function. So what we are going to sketch here is a function y equals to minus, we'll write this, minus x times x minus 4. Okay, this is the function which we are going to sketch. Now this minus really means that it is a parabola which is opening downwards, and these two are the two zeros, correct? So let me sketch one graph here saying that this is 1 0 and the other one will be at 4. So I'll just draw a graph kind of like this. Okay, so we'll just go through this point, and okay, that's okay. So we have a kind of graph which is like this. Okay, now here there are two zeros. One is at 0, the other one is at number 4, right? So these are the two zeros for us. This is for the denominator part only. And as far as the vertex is concerned, let's say this is vertex. It has to be at the midway too, right? So let's write down how much should be the value. If I replace x with 2, so I'll get minus 2 times 2 minus 4, which is minus 2 times 2 minus 4 is minus 2, and that gives you plus 4 as your answer. So this value is 4 for us. Okay. So if I write 2 here, then I get plus 4 as the vertex, right? Imagine this is the vertex. Okay. Now let's answer all the questions. To begin with, domain. Now the function is basically reciprocal of this function. We have vertical asymptotes at the zeros of the parabola, inverted parabola. So that is how it should be looking like. Is that okay? So that means these 2 points are not in domain, right? So we can write domain here is that x belongs to real numbers, so that x is not equal to these 2 points, right? Because we have vertical asymptote at these points. It's not equal to 0 or even 4, right? Those 2 points are not included in our domain. Now let's talk about range. Reciprocal of this could be sketched with center part which will be kind of like this. We are doing rough sketching here, okay, like this. And this part, since it is negative, reciprocal will also be negative, right? So kind of like this. And this side also kind of like this. Okay. Where the horizontal asymptote is they are approaching 0. What is this point? This point is reciprocal of 4. So this point, the minimum here is 1 over 4. Do you get an idea? So as far as the range is concerned, we have y belongs to real numbers, so that y is less than 0 and greater than 1 over 4. Do you get an idea, right? So that is what y value is. Y value cannot be between 1 over 4 and 0, including 0, right? So we could write in two different ways. Of course, we can say y is less than 0, right? Less than 0, and let me write comma here, and y is greater than equal to 1 over 4, right? So that is a better way of writing this. Okay, so you get this value from the local maxima of the denominator, correct? Other questions, vertical asymptotes, we already identified two. So the first one is at x equals to 0, the other one is at x equals to 4. These are the restrictions. Horizontal asymptote, we have one, which is when x approaches infinity, positive or negative, y approaches 0. So the equation is y equals to 0, correct? That's the horizontal asymptote. X-intercept. Now this function will never have any x-intercept, so none. The y-intercept, we have vertical asymptotes, so that is also none for us. Positive interval. Now wherever the parabola is positive, its reciprocal will also be positive, right? So it is positive interval is between, not including 0 and 4, it is between 0 and 4, right? That's the positive interval. Negative interval, the function is negative from minus infinity to 0, union from 4 to infinity, right? So from 4 to infinity. Okay, these boundaries are not included, right? Increasing interval. As you can see, the function actually is decreasing in this part, but increasing after 2. So increasing interval is from, you could include 2, right? 2 to 4, it is increasing. 4 should not be included. And then it increases from 4 to infinity, right? So it increases from 4 to infinity. So that is the increasing interval. Rest of it is decreasing. So it is decreasing from minus infinity to 0, right? And from 0 to 2, right? And from 0 to 2, you could include 2, right? It doesn't really matter. May include, may not include, but both are right. You could include 2 also. So it decreases up to that. I hope this video gives you a good idea of the characteristics of reciprocal function. You can pause the video, go through it once again, and also try to sketch an accurate graph of this function to get a good feel of the function itself. I'm Anil Kumar. If you really like the video, you should subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you and all the best.